Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. A very good morning. Regarding the assignment number 2, the deadline was yesterday. If you have not submitted, so please submit the second assignment via email or WhatsApp. Third assignment, I will assign you as probably after this lecture, inshallah. And regarding your quiz 1, I will send you today, and tomorrow is the deadline to submit the quiz. This is about your quiz. Any question? Any question? Up to chapter 1 to chapter 3. Chapter 1 to chapter 3, what we have covered. Any other question? So let's start our today's lecture by the grace of Allah. Integration testing is the next topic. What is an integration testing? Sultan Saifuddin, Abdullah Khalid, Ghazi Muhammad, Muhammad Marai, Muhammad Ahmad, Fasi Yusuf, Harun, Muhammad Jasim. Very good. Integration testing is performed to test the interconnectivity between or among the modules and to check the hyperlinks and to check the data is importing and exporting or not. So that's the job of integration testing. Test the interfaces, interactions of software between or among the modules and with other software. For example, you have ERP system. Yes, intercommunication, very good. That you have ERP system like SAP, Oracle, MADA, Upshur, or in Pakistan, OneLink system, or we have Nadra. So you want to test that from one system data is importing to another or not. Or like I gave you an example of email system like Hotmail, Yahoo, Compose module is there, and we have new module, and we have send message module. So data is as many modules from you will send from the new or Compose, you can see in the send messages folder. A change introduced into the software may cause problems with functions that worked previously error-free. So that's the job of integration testing. Any question? Any question? What are the main strategies of integration testing? Abdullah Khalid, Abdul Latif Garamullah, Yusuf, Muhammad Ahmed, Muhammad Jasim, Muhammad Marai, Harun, Ahmed Sadiq, Sultan Saifuddin. Anyone, open. We have two types of strategies. We have top down and we have bottom up. So top down and bottom up are the two main strategies of integration testing. Any idea about top down integration? Garamullah, Usam Khizr, Ghazi Muhammad, Fasi Yusuf, Muhammad Jasim, Muhammad Marai, Harun. Open. Anyone can answer. In the top down, you start from the top, you integrate the top modules of the system like Hotmail, Inbox, Junk, Compose, Send Message, Trash. So that's the top down, from top to down, like hierarchical charts, like hierarchical charts. Whereas bottom up, you start from the bottom modules like construction of a building. You construct foundation, ground floor, first floor, second floor, and so on. So we have top-down integration and we have bottom-up integration. Any question? Then, what are the main strategies of top-down integration testing? Usam Khizr, Ghazi Muhammad, Muhammad Ahmed, Muhammad Marai, Harun Ahmed, Sultan Saifuddin, Shakir Ataullah. Open. Anyone can answer. We have depth first and breadth first. These are the two main strategies of top-down integration. Depth first and or breadth first. Any idea about depth first? Muhammad Marai, Usama Ali, Fasi Yusuf, Ahmed Sadiq, Ali Ali, Shakir Ataullah. Open. Anyone can answer. Usam Khizr, small function, an algorithm for traversing or searching tree or graph data structure. In the depth first, you have start from the like inbox, then you keep on adding the new modules in the depth and in the breadth at the upper layer. First inbox, then compose, then sent, then new message, trash. So at the top layer is the breadth, and the depth you start one, and then you keep on adding the next in the breadth, the depth. So we have depth first strategy and we have breadth first strategy, as you like, or as the company strategy is that. The steps to perform top-down integration: the main module is tested using a stub. What is a stub? Usama Ali, Ali, Shakir Ataullah, Ghazi Muhammad, Fasi Yusuf, Muhammad Ahmed, Muhammad Jasim. Okay, anyone? A stub is a dummy module. Stub is a dummy. Yeah, it's a dummy module instead of the actual module. Because when you are going from top to down, you don't have the lower level modules. So how you will perform the integration testing with them? By having the dummy modules. So we create dummy modules without any functionality, just to check that from A to B, B to C, connectivity is there or not, hyperlinks are working or not. So that's the stub. So by using top down, we use stub at the lower level modules in using the depth first or the breadth first strategy. Tests are conducted as each component is integrated. On completion of each set of test cases for a component, so as you develop the new module, the actual module, you replace the stub. You remove the stub and integrate the actual module. Once you complete the integration of the actual module, you perform regression testing. What is regression testing? Regression testing. Sama Ali, Harun Muhammad, Shakir Ataullah, Ali, Usama, Ahmed Adil, Sultan Saifuddin, Usam Khizr, Muhammad Marai. Anyone? Open. Repeat all tests for the integration. Once you integrate, you have to repeat all tests for all modules. Yes. Very good. So repeat all tests is called integration testing. Whenever you integrate new module, you have to re-exercise all tests. Any question? Then main problems of the top-down integration that we use stubs at low level. So from top to down, we have integration, but from the upward, we don't have any data flow. We cannot check the data is exporting or not, importing or not. So that is the problem of top-down integration. So when you have such case, you have few choices. Delay many tests until stubs are replaced with the actual module. Develop stubs that perform little functionality. But if you develop stubs with little functionality, mean extra cost, extra time, extra resources, extra effort. Then integrate the software using bottom-up approach instead of the top-down approach. So you have, that is another choice you have in case of top-down integration. Any question? Bottom-up. Low-level components are integrated into the build or cluster that performs a specific function. In the bottom-up, like you have construction, ground floor, basement, foundation, first floor, ground floor, second floor, third floor, you use driver. What is a driver? Wasi Yusuf, Sultan, Shakir Ataullah, Ahmed Sadiq, Muhammad Ahmed, Majid Munawar, welcome question. What is a driver? Muhammad Jasim, open, anyone can answer. Very good. Order to simulate the behavior of the upper level modules that are not yet integrated. Very good. Driver is a dummy module but has some functionality. It's not like stub that is just dummy. Driver is a software that has some functionality. So you can check the import and export of the data, upward and downward both. Data flow. Very good. So it's like we have API, it will act like API, but it's a functionality. It has functionality. It's not just dummy. It's a software that is written which has some functionality to check upward and downward. So driver are used in the bottom up. So a driver is written to coordinate test case input and output. So we can check input and output both inward and outward. The build is tested, drivers are removed, and builds are integrated moving upward in the program structure. That is the bottom up. Main types of integration testing. Abdullah Khalid, Shakir Ataullah, Usama Ali, Ali Ali, Ahmed Sadiq, Usam Khizar, Ghazi Muhammad, Break, Abdul Latif. Big bang, mixed sandwich, risky hardest, top down and bottom up. Okay. Any other student? Open. We have smoke and we have regression. Regression and smoke are main types of integration testing. Regression, I just covered few minutes before. So how to define regression testing, Sultan Saifuddin? Ahmad Adil? Shakir? Ali Ali? Fasi Yusuf? Repeat all tests. Whenever you integrate new module, re-exercise all tests. So because of integration, some errors are not introduced into the software. To avoid those errors, after integration, we repeat all tests. That is called regression testing. Then you have smoke testing. Majid Munawwar, any idea? Abdul Latif Karmullah? Sanity check. Muhammad Jasim? Very basic level. Sultan? Shakir? Fasi? Usam? Abdullah Khalid? Anyone? Open. You know smoking? In the smoking, smoker smokes daily. It's not like he smoke after a week or after a year. So smoking is done. So we call a guy smoker who smokes daily. So smoke testing is the integration testing in which we test daily. As we develop any module, we integrate into the system, into the build, and we test and we perform integration testing on daily basis. Acceptance testing is different. This is integration testing within the company level, with the developers, with the testers. Scrum. Scrum has 5 values. In Agile, Scrum has 5 values. Any idea about the Scrum values? Ahmad Sadiq? Ahmad Adil? Muhammad Jasim? Scrum is one of the most widely used agile methodologies. From 2011 to till today, it has 5 values. Fasi Yusuf? Abdul Latif Garmullah? Okay, that is the one. Create product. Any other? Scrum has 5 values. The first value, deliver every demo or release. Deliver every demo or release. We say release often or release often. To have a feedback loop between the customer and the software team, to improve the coordination, communication, collaboration. Second value, inspect daily meetings or inspect daily. Value number 2, daily meetings or inspect daily. We have daily meetings in all companies, not only the software companies. Regardless of software, all companies have daily meetings at the start of a day. You all are, mashallah, professionals. You know we have daily meetings in the offices. But here we are talking about inspect daily. So smoke testing is the inspection daily of performing integration tests. As you integrate, you test all modules daily basis. Value number 3, let the team decide. Or cross-functional. Cross-functional. So the stakeholders will not interfere in the work of the team. Let the team handle their roles, how many stories they pick. In Agile Scrum, release is called sprint. Release is called a sprint. So you ask the team that how many stories you pick. Yes. Let the team decide, or cross-functional and self-organized. So cross-functional and self-organized. Very good. Self-organized, self-disciplined team. So product owner, the project manager, will just provide them the list of stories, prioritized stories. We call them product backlog. Product backlog. After that, the team has a meeting. It's called sprint planning meeting. Sprint planning meeting. In the sprint planning meeting, team will decide how many stories they will pick from the product backlog to create sprint backlog. Two stories, three stories, what are their roles, how they will develop. It's up to the team. Stakeholders, product owner, project manager will not involve, will not interfere in their work. They are self-organized teams, disciplined teams, cross-functional teams. Programmer can work as a tester, tester can work as a database designer can as an architect. So multi-skilled, cross-functional. So let the team decides, or cross-functional and self-organized teams. Value number 4, we have a Scrum Master. That is, and his role is, and he is a chief impediment remover. And he is a chief chief impediment remover. Like we have a reserved guy, impediment remover means he will remove the barriers, hurdles, problems of the team. And he's like a lubricant, like engine. We have engine oil as a lubricant between or among different parts, components of the engine to have smooth functioning. So Scrum Master is there as a lubricant, as a reserved guy. And whenever any team needs his help, like programming team, testing team, database team, integration team, architect team, he is a leader. He's in between the team. And for one sprint, you can have like Muhammad Ahmed as a Scrum Master, second, Garmulla, third, sprint, Shakir, fourth, Ali. So any of the team member can be a Scrum Master. It's not a fixed role. And then you have product owner, the fifth value. Product owner. Product owner is responsible to prioritize user stories. Requirements are called user stories. Prioritize user stories, and he will approve or reject a sprint like a customer. He will act like a customer. He's one of the team members, but he will not involve inside the work. The boss style is not there. He will approve or reject the sprint during the sprint review meeting before you ship to the customer. So there are 5 Scrum values, and one of the Scrum value is smoke testing. Inspect daily, daily meeting, test daily. That is called the smoke testing. Any question? Any question? Yes, no? Now we move to some detail about the regression testing. Repeat all tests when integrate new module into the software. Regression testing is the re-execution of the sum of the tests that have already been conducted to ensure that changes in the software have not introduced errors into the software or module already tested. Because you make a change. So whenever a change is introduced, you have to re-exercise, re-execute the test. Regression testing is conducted whenever a new module is integrated into the software. Regression test suite contains 3 different classes of test cases. A sample of tests will exercise all software functions. Prepare new test cases for only those functions that are likely to be affected by the change. Third, test cases to focus on the software components that have been changed. So that's the 3 options for the regression test suite. What are the main reasons to perform regression testing? Raid Abdullah, Ahmed Siddiq, Ahmed Adil, Usama Ali, Sultan Saifuddin, Shakir Ataullah, Muhammad Marai, Harun, Muhammad Mabrek, Muhammad Jasim, Majid Munawwar, Fasi, anyone, open. What are the main reasons to perform regression testing? To catch the accidentally introduced bugs and to ensure that previously eliminated defects are not created. Ensure quality, very good. Very good. New data flow paths are established because you integrate new module. New input output may occur. New control logic is invoked. So you have, these are the main reasons to perform regression testing. Then smoke, we just covered. Smoke is a type of integration testing which is conducted on daily or regularly basis. It is suitable for time critical projects like Agile. I just said like Scrum. It's one of the values of the Scrum to inspect daily, test daily. Whole build is tested from top to down or down to top. Main advantages of smoke testing, as Muhammad Marai said and Sultan said, integration risks are minimized. Quality of end product is improved to ensure quality. Error detection or correction is simple and easy to measure velocity of the project. So I have discussed in one of the lectures what is the difference between speed and velocity. Velocity is with direction, acceleration with direction, and speed is direct acceleration with direction. Like we have Sirat-e-Mustaqim and we have Shaitan path. So Sirat-e-Mustaqim is the planned cost, planned budget, planned schedule, planned cost, and the Shaitan path is the actual cost, actual schedule. So we have to get close to the Sirat-e-Mustaqim to ensure that we will end up close to the planned budget and planned schedule. Otherwise, our software project will be delayed and it will be over budgeted. So to avoid such problems, we keep on estimating the velocity project. That is one of the practices of Agile as well. Any question regarding the advantages? Then you have system testing. Right? Abdullah, what is the system testing? Shakir, Abdul Latif Garmullah, Ahmed Adil, Harun, Muhammad Marai, Fasi Yusuf, Ghazi. Once you have performed integration testing, then you will perform system testing, that individual modules which were working as a standalone as unit base during unit testing or component testing, after integration, still they are performing their functionalities or not. As a system, like you are one of the members of a team. As a standalone, you work very fine, excellent. But after joining a team, your performance is affected. So you have to ensure the quality of the system and the functionality of the system, that after integration, still the individual units, modules, components which were working at unit level, after integration as a system, still working as a whole application, part of whole application or not. System testing focus on execution of a sequence of tests to check the working of the whole application as one system, as one. Main reasons to perform system testing: test both functional and non-functional requirements, to have confidence in software, risk management, to make sure that all requirements are implemented and software is ready for acceptance testing. These are the main reasons to perform system testing. Main advantages. Any idea? Raid Abdullah? Sama Ali? Majid? Muhammad Ahmed? Muhammad Jasim? Muhammad Mabrek? Muhammad Marai? Sultan? Raid Ali? Anyone? Open. Independent viewpoint, because now you are delivering a system at unit level 3, at the system level 3 or 4 modules as one system. So now you are not concentrating just the units, you are concentrating, you are focusing that at system level these are working or not. Incorporate customer viewpoint. So product owner or the project manager will test the system from the customer point of view, because after that system testing you are going to go for acceptance. You are going to call the customer for alpha and beta to find those bugs that are still uncovered, to test the product in a real-time environment, real-time situation with real data. Main types of system testing. Any idea, Abdullah Khalid? Shakir Ataullah? Ali Ali? Usama? Muhammad Mabrek? Majid? Fasi Yusuf? Open. Anyone? We have 4 types of system testing. We have recovery testing, security testing, stress testing, and performance testing. Recovery. One of the quality attributes is recoverability. So what is recovery testing? Or what is recoverability? Harun, Muhammad Marai, Muhammad Mabrek, Muhammad Jasim, Muhammad Ahmed, Abdullah Khalid, Karamullah, Shakir, Raid, Sultan. Recoverability. Very good. Activity of testing, how well an application is able to recover from crashes, hardware failures, and other similar problem. Very good, Mr. Qazi, excellent. Recovery testing, that how much software has the ability to recover from errors. Ability of a system to recover from bugs or errors within a specified time to continue its functioning. Ability of a soft system to recover from errors or bugs within a specified time to continue its functioning. That is the recoverability. And it is under the one of the dimensions of dependability. So that is the recovery. And we have security testing. Usam Khizr, what is security testing? Any idea? Muhammad Mabrek, Raid Abdullah. Very good. Before I answer, anyone who wants to try? A process intended to reveal flaws in the security mechanisms of information system to protect data and maintain functionality as intended. Very good. So we test to make sure that hacker cannot penetrate into the system. Hacker or attacker cannot penetrate into the system. Like I have discussed with you regarding the security, that we have safety and we have security in the chapter 1. The security is to protect the data from hackers or attackers, whereas safety is to ensure, protect the human life losses. So protect safety critical projects where human life risks are involved, and security is the protection of data from the hackers or attackers. So we try to avoid we make sure the hacker or attacker cannot penetrate into the system to hack our server or the system to steal the data. Then you have stress testing. Abdul Latif Garmulla, what is stress testing? You know, we have stress, even in the humans, we have stress. That guy is under stress. Shakir Atullah, Ahmad Sadiq, Ahmad Adil, Muhammad Mabrek, Jasim, Ghazi, very good. So under the stress testing, we check how much the system can bear the load. So we have load testing. That is one of the tools. It was introduced by HP. Its name is Load Runner. Now it's purchased by some other company, Load Runner. If I'm not mistaken, Load Runner. Yes. It was introduced by HP, but now it is purchased by Micro Focus. So we try to test the system that how much, yes, it's one of the risk management technique, how much it can bear the load, bear the pressure and abnormal conditions. Like we have interrupts. We have interrupts. What is an interrupt? Osam Khizar. Muhammad Jasim. No problem. Sultan Saifuddin. Raed Abdullah. Ghazi Muhammad. Osama Ali. Open, anyone. Is a response by the processor stopping the services, evaluating how a system performs in terms of responsiveness and stability under a particular workload. Very good. Interrupt is a signal. Interrupt is a signal to the processor to halt the current process and to respond to the current signal. So immediately, what is the response of the processor to the signal? That is interrupt. Interrupt is a signal to the processor that is sent to the processor to request immediate attention, that whatever the processor is doing, stop it, halt it, pause it. So if server can respond 10 requests per second, hacker may send 100 requests per second. So there will be 100 interrupts to the processor. So you have jam, network traffic will jam, and you will feel network is very busy, like sometime your highway is jam and 10 minutes drive will become 1 hour or 2 hours drive because of the traffic jam. Same in the stress, the server will be busy and you will find a message server is busy. So you have attack, and we check during the stress testing that how much the server can bear the stress in terms of interrupts, in terms of load. So to check the load, we perform stress testing. Performance testing. Garmullah, Shakir, Ataullah. Fasi Yusuf, Mohammad Mabrek, Sultan Saifuddin, anyone open performance testing. Yes, in the performance we compare two systems that whose response time is better than the other. Like we say, Google performance is very high and its response is between 1 millisecond to 1 second. Google response is between 1 milli, so its performance is very high, and it's the most widely used browser in the most widely used search engine in the world. So that is the performance testing. Any question regarding the concepts of system testing? So what is recovery testing? It is one of the features of quality software that it must be recovered from errors within specific time to continue its functioning. Otherwise, client may suffer huge economic loss. The objective of recovery testing is to fail the system in several ways. For example, reinitialization, data recovery, restart, or invalid tests. Like we have exception handling, we have validation checks. So system is halt, paused, or it recover, or attack is there, it recover from those errors and again continue performing its functioning. Like humans may have loss of their family members, death of their blood relations, father, mother, sister, uncle, auntie, sometimes children, sometimes husband, sometimes wife. As a professional guy, our job is that we recover from such loss and we keep on functioning as we are functioning before the loss as early as possible. So same is for the software. Attack is there and some errors are introduced into the software and software recover from those errors and again performing its functionality. So that's the recovery. With that we have a testing, it's called repairability, and we say it should have same functionality as it was before the attack, because customer has no interest that your server is under attack or there is an error at your site. Like for example, you are a customer of Amazon, you want to buy something and Amazon server has some problem, some errors are there or attack is there. As a user, as a customer, it's not your problem that Amazon server is under attack. So if Amazon server will not respond within specific time, you will move to another link. You will go to eBay or AliExpress or some other e-commerce website like Desert Cart is there. There are so many. So as a user, you don't have any problem with the attack or with the errors of the e-commerce websites, or as a customer, it's not your problem. Hotmail server is not working, Google server is not working, bank server is not working, it's not your problem. Bank server is under attack. You want to withdraw money. So if you go to ATM and bank server is not responding, how many times you will suffer? How many times you will bear? After that, you will change the bank like Samba or SNB to Bank of Riyadh or what is called Arab National Bank or any other bank. You will change the bank because every time you go to the ATM and bank server is not responding. So it's not your problem as a customer. So that's the recovery testing. We check the recovery and we want to fail the system to make sure that as much possible errors are there, we have removed, and it has recovery smooth functioning as it was before the attack. So mean time to repair and mean time to failure are measured, and software is considered reliable if mean time to repair and mean time to failure are within satisfactory limits. Reliability of the software can be measured by estimating the mean time between failure. So mean time between failure is equal to mean time to failure plus mean time to repair. So that's the formula to check the reliability of the software. Any question? Mean time between failure is equal to mean time to failure plus mean time to repair. It is considered as an alternative way to measure reliability using defects per kilo line of code. We have another way that we can measure the defects per kilo line of code or defects per function point by the customer. Defects are always reported by the customer. So we normally measure reliability that how many defects per kilo line. Kilo mean 1000 lines. To simplify, client is more conscious about system failure than to count total number of defects, because he is more concerned with the failure of the system. And software availability is another parameter with the reliability. So under recoverability, you have reliability, you have availability. You can measure that how much time it is available to the customers. Like we say, for Amazon, its availability should be 99.9999%. It should be available to the users like Google, Hotmail, Yahoo, Gmail. We expect from the banks also, but they have to make backup. So that is the reason they sometimes down their servers before after backup they upload again. Otherwise, we expect from the software, especially over the web, over the mobile, the availability of the software should be 99.99999%. It should be available to the users. So we have formula to calculate availability: mean time to failure divided by mean time to failure plus mean time to repair multiplied by 100%. That is the formula to calculate availability. Any question? Any question? Let's have a break of 15 minutes and we will continue inshallah 10:25. Thank you.